make sure you blast it out. Yep. All right, hey everyone, if you're watching, just go ahead and give me some likes and loves and share, please, from Facebook. Did we ever get my Facebook fixed, or is this still Jason's? Oh, it's mine now? Good, yeah, so share it, please. And give us some likes and loves, and please stay tuned for the whole hour. We're on the countdown. We got to get 1,000-something hours or whatever so that we can finally get our YouTube up and running the way it's supposed to be. So if you're watching from YouTube, please like, love, and subscribe. That's the big one, subscribe. And please watch. Ready? Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate, and this is the Texas Real Estate Mastermind Hour. Hey, thanks for joining us. Boy, it's, I don't know. I got so much to talk about, and none of it has to do with real estate. So I'll try and weave some stuff in. But first, where do I start? I'm going to start with the New York Giants. So I'm going to date this video and this radio show. So I'm recording on Monday after the Giants have beat the Vikings. I'm so very, very excited. It's a great game. My team is looking good. I think we finally have a quarterback. We know we had a running back. And I think the offensive line is playing within themselves, and they're getting schemed for things that they know they can do. So there's a lot of running. It was good. Pass protection was decent. So I'm super excited about that. I'm looking forward to playing the Eagles. I'm sure people can find this one, or you'll comment on it after the Giants get blown out by the Eagles on Saturday night. But right now, I am a Giant fan. I'm flying high. Woo! This is good. For those of you who know, I hold season tickets with the New York Giants, so I do get back and forth to New York City often to catch the Giants. And the joke I told people is, hey, when I'm in retirement, you can find me down at the beach of Port Aransas, the Texas Riviera, and you'll see me with the golf cart with the big Giant flag hanging off. You'll see the New York Giant flag cruising down the beach, and I'll be in a beach shirt, khakis, and flip-flops, and you'll know it's me. So, boy, the Giants did well. I don't know the score of the Cowboys game because we're recording this beforehand, so you'll know when you're hearing it. But I'm excited, really, really excited. I'm one of those guys that I can't watch it in a group. I don't want anyone over for the game. I don't want anyone sitting next to me. I mean, it was like 7 minutes into the first quarter, and my wife's still sitting on the couch, and I'm like, we good? She's like, well, yeah. I'm like, okay, we're good. She's like, oh. And then she left. But anyway, it's my little thing. It started way back when the Giants played the Broncos in the Super Bowl, and I went to this big Super Bowl party, and it was horrible. I couldn't see anything. The food was already gone by the time I got there. It was just a nightmare. I'm like, I'm never doing this again. So one of the rituals I have now is when the Giants are on, I typically do not watch them in a pub or a bar or at a friend's house. I just sit in front of my giant TV, in front of the fireplace, and I watch the Giants play. And I'm very content. I can scroll through all the stats that are coming up online. I'm a very particular, that's my team, right? Someone asks, are you a football fan? I say, no, I'm a Giants fan. It's like, oh, did you watch the game this week? I watched the Giants game this week. Oh, did you see the Texans play? I did not. I do not root for the Texans. There's no reason for me to watch them. Oh, did you see the Monday night game? No, the Giants didn't play on Monday night. There's no reason for me to watch. Right? I know a lot of people like, I'm a big college football fan. I watch all games. I'm like, nope, not interested in college football until 2 weeks before the draft and who the Giants think they can get. So I'm very, very, very focused on my fandom, if you will. But that's what happens. We love it. And actually, I shouldn't say that. The only person who gets, the only being that gets to watch the Giants next is my dog. And he's bouncing up and down when I'm clapping and yelling, and he's running into the crate when I start yelling angrily at this TV screen. So we do have a lot of good times there. So this is my update hour. I'm going to give you an update of my life. I know Jason was doing a lot of single shows. I've been super busy. I'll get caught up in that in the second segment, kind of let you know what's going on. But folks have been asking about the dog. So for those of you who don't know, I got a rescue. about 9 months ago. He is a blackmouth cur and husky mix. So just hair everywhere and lots of energy. Great dog. He's fit into the family. I adopted him as a rescue. I'm going to have that organization on. I'm going to try and squeeze as much money out of my listeners and as my mastermind and all those other folks start donating. But we did really, really well with the dog. He's great. Very, very friendly. He's turned into an office dog. So whenever both my wife and I are at the office, the dog is here. He's good. When he's super, super excited and there's like 15 people around, he can't help himself. He pees a little. But other than that, perfectly house-trained, perfect good dog. Does exactly what he's supposed to do. Barks when there's strangers out in front of the house. And is a great, great companion. For those of you who don't know, I'm a big dog fan. Before that, before Dakota, that's his name, Dakota Dog, I had Popsicle. And Popsicle I had for 13 years. Also another rescue dog. And he was a chocolate lab mix or something. Another great dog. He was abused, so he was always a little shy. You had to talk to people. It's like, don't pet the dog above the collar. Always pet his body. Don't put your hands near his face. Don't look at the dog. And just ignore him for the first 30 seconds and everything will be fine. We don't have to do that with Dakota. Dakota's just a big, a big attention getter. He just runs up to people and rubs their legs and runs around them. So, great, great dog. I didn't think I was going to do it again, but I did. I went out and got that dog, and we've trained him fairly well. We're trying to get him do some advanced tricks. He is a jumper, so I'm trying to train him. My goal this year is to train him to do the Holly Berry trick from John Wick Chapter 3, where she sort of kneels down and the dog runs and leaps up off her shoulders. I'm trying to get my dog to do that. I'm going to try and get my dog to just run and use my back as a ramp and leap over me and in front of the people in front of me. So that's the trick we're working on. I'll let you know how it goes next year. And but he's great. So if you guys are dog owners, that's fantastic. If you're cat owners, just be careful, man, because that cat is going to suck your soul out while you sleep at night. Just be aware, when those cats lay on your chest at night, they're drinking your soul. Just I'm totally fine if you have cats. Just you need a little mouth guard or something to stop that cat from drinking the soul out of your body. Dogs are clearly my favorite. All right, so real estate wise, yeah, we're doing this little challenge. Me and Jason, I have bought or have under contract or offered that should be accepted 9 doors in the last 90 days. We're going to probably stop here, get them all stabilized, and we'll try and get 6 or 7 more. So 9 doors right now. I'm super happy about that. All my little golden triangle, I'm real happy. They're all looking good. Rents are phenomenal. Just so you understand, I bought one $292 with $140 in repair, but it was 3 houses on one lot. So I'm all in for $450, and the rents are $1,250, $1,250, and $2,000. So I'm 1% rule. Once I get them all subdivided, they should appraise somewhere around $600,000. So this is stuff that we're finding. Same thing the folks in our mastermind are finding. The same thing that Jason's finding, using our team, using our crews, using our all the folks that we have around us in the system. So if you're interested in learning more about that stuff, come out to our events. Go to mrtxre.com, mrtxre.com. Check it out. We got a lot of events going on all the time. Love to see you here. And then, of course, the big 3-day, and we'll talk about that when we come back from the break. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate, and this is the Texas Real Estate Mastermind Hour. Thanks for joining us. If you're listening on the radio, thank you for tuning in. Just know, I believe next month we're going to go to 8 o'clock at night, no longer at 9 o'clock at night, so we'll have to clean up some of our language, some of our jokes, I think. There's more of a chance that people are actually listening to us at the radio station, which would be crazy. But anyway, we'll be on at 8 o'clock. Like I said, if you don't know who we are, if you're just trying to figure this stuff out, you're getting into real estate, someone told you to listen to our show or listen to our podcast or watch our channel, we're real estate investors first. So both my partner and I, Jason, and myself, Robert, we're buying properties, right? And what we've built is a real estate services company. So we have folks that find deals, we fix deals, we can get loans for deals, we can property manage those deals. So we have this sort of vertical integration that, quite frankly, that we got the idea from Elon Musk. Elon Musk was absolutely motivation. We understood the vertical integration between actually owning the mines and the battery factories and the battery processing and the machine that builds the machine and the Tesla charging stations. And we looked at that model and said, man, why don't we do that with real estate, right? Why don't we find the property, fix the property, get loans for the property, long-term manage the property, sell the property. So we built this little vertical, again, based on one of our guys that we really like, Elon Musk, which leads me to my next thing is I don't know if you guys if you haven't seen it, but the Tesla Model 3 and Model Y, the price came down ridiculous amount of money. The Model Y that I just bought, I just signed up this last weekend, came down 14%. 14%. And then throwing on the tax rebate, it's a total of 20%. So we had looked, and I had signed up last year, but it looked like the delivery date was going to be in 2022, so I canceled because I wanted the tax rebate. And then early 2022, the IRS offers their opinion on it. And it turns out, Joe Biden the Democrats don't like Elon Musk. Biden doesn't like Elon Musk. The IRS decides to classify one of their cars as not an SUV. So, not an SUV is a problem because the SUV limits are $80,000 and the sedan limits are $55,000. Well, the Model Y, which is probably going to be the number one selling car in the world, starting 2023, if not 2023, definitely 2024. So the Model Y, which has been characterized by the EPA, by the federal safety standard as an SUV, the IRS says, no, it's not an SUV. And that screws up everyone's rebate. And so, there's Ford, and just understand, like the Biden White House is pro-union. And listen, I'll go on a little tangent. I understand the purpose of unions. I think they're probably needed in a lot of situations, right? I totally get it that people need representation, okay? Especially these sort of low-paying hourly jobs. I totally get it. If you're just a warehouse worker and that's the maximum capability of you and your abilities, then you're probably not going to be, an engineer. And so you might need some representation. I totally get it. It's okay. If Walmart can collectively bargain pricing for purchasing, then workers can do it. I'm okay with all of that. However, when you start favoring the old automakers because your base they're trying to get the union base back. By the way, the Democrats lost the union base with Reagan. It kind of never came back, right? But they're trying, and they're trying to basically, please their base, which they think are union workers in the automotive industry, even though we know those guys are not really overwhelmingly Democrat. There's a fair split like the rest of the country. And so, in my opinion, the Biden administration absolutely hosed Elon Musk, right? Screwed him over and didn't give those rebates. And so now the number one selling car in the world, that's projected to be, it's going to beat the Camry, should beat the Camry this year, certainly in the U.S. The number one selling car in the world, or will be the number one selling car in the world, does not have rebates. even though it's some of the most efficient technology out there, the IRS doesn't allow it to qualify for rebates, which is absolutely horrendous. Completely a joke, right? There's a Jeep that's a plug-in hybrid that gets more rebates than the Model Y, which is the super most efficient car out there. So you're like, what is going on? This doesn't make any sense until you just peel it back. You don't even have to go back that far. You just go back one step and realize that the Democrats don't like Elon. And so they screwed him over. And let me just tell you, I don't think the Republicans like him all that much either. At least they didn't 2-3 years ago, right? Because he was all about green and saving the planet. So here's a guy out there, one of the richest guys on the planet, and he's like, okay, so the IRS is going to mess around. All right, here's what he does. He goes in and he drops the price somewhere between 7, 10, 12, and 14%. And then adding on the rebate on top of that, their cars are now going to be priced 15 to 20% cheaper. So now I have the choice of a half-ass electric vehicle, or I could go to the best electric vehicle manufacturer on the planet, Tesla. By the way, a Texas company, and the car I bought is being made in Texas, right? Texas made. And what he did was he absolutely destroyed the other automakers. Because now all of a sudden his price range picks up, and there's a little graph that basically says, hey, at $60,000, you only have about 5 to 6% of auto buyers. If you go to sub $40,000, you can pick up 20% of the auto buyers, right? And if you can get down to under 30, then you pick up 50% of the auto buyers. And if you can be in the mid-30s plus the $7,500 rebate, that opens up the floodgates. And then when these things are better safety, longer range batteries, right? Better technology, people are just going to naturally go with the Tesla. So it kind of backfired. I mean, the president and the Democrats are talking about the green, and we're doing this, it's going to make this, we got to get ourselves off gas and all. I get all that stuff. I understand a lot. It's all there. I believe the science. Remember, there's a range. I don't go for the worst case. But what Elon did was give the big finger to all the Democrats and all the original OEMs in this country, Ford, Chrysler, and General Motors. Because now Ford and Chrysler have more expensive electric vehicles than Tesla, and they don't rank as high. Now, early adopters aside, when it gets to the general mass, and we still haven't gotten to the general mass population, people are going to do their research, and they're going to look at it, and they're going to go with Tesla. It's going to get more miles. It's going to have more features. It's safer, and it's cheaper. So it completely backfired. They thought they were going to make sure that the Model Y did not qualify for the rebate, which was then going to hurt Model Y sales. And he just turned around and said, "Okay, we're playing this game. I'm gonna play the game too." And now my guess is he's probably, I gotta believe in the last 3 days, 4 days when you're hearing this, he sold over 1 million cars. Well, at least 500,000 cars. This is Robert, and with the Texas Real Estate Mastermind Hour, hang tight. We'll be back. Go to our website, mrtxre.com. Check out all our events. Hang tight. We'll be back. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Mastermind Hour. We're not really talking a lot about real estate today. So, anyway, back to what I was saying. The not-so-clever Democrats decided they're gonna try and hose Elon, right? Because they don't like the free speech stuff, and they don't like the fact that he's a billionaire and he's not beholden to anyone. He doesn't do major contributions. His projects aren't aligned with, there's guys who are, there are mass industries that are aligned with different political parties just for the ability to survive. And that's not him, right? And so he bought Twitter. Everyone knows, it's like, oh, the guy lost 100 billion, 120 billion. It's like, you don't understand anything. That $250 billion was just based on Tesla. No one is even given the evaluation, somewhere between 150 and $300 billion evaluation for SpaceX, which he is a massive majority owner of. And then Starlink, by the way, if you don't realize this, we're about to get the fastest internet in ever from Elon Musk's company Starlink. That has a 75 to $100 billion evaluation. So he may have lost $150 billion in Tesla, and he's losing in Twitter. But I'm telling you, the guy's got another $500 billion, $500 billion in two companies that no one's even looking at. So, hey, okay, you guys want to play games? You want to compete? Okay, I can compete at a price level that my so-called competition cannot. So I got to imagine 100,000, maybe even 500,000 orders. Remember, he lowered the prices all over the world. Like even in France, I think there's like a $10,000 rebate. So all over the world, he just destroyed the auto industry. So good job, Democrats. You really helped your base there. Remember, Elon's factories are not unionized because, and his employees constantly vote down becoming unionized because they make too much money. For those of you who don't understand, there's a lot of stock options. There are employees who've been with Elon and Tesla for over 5 years who are become millionaires based on their company contributions of stocks. And you can't do that, or they wouldn't likely do that in a union shop. So they don't vote it in. Other Tesla news, so you're aware of it. Out in Fulshire near Katy, they just, I don't know if they bought it or leased it. They have a 1 million square foot warehouse, which they are now hiring for. So I don't know if that's to store parts or to store cars as they're being shipped to the port. They have the battery raw material processing plant that they're building outside of Corpus, which is where I was this weekend. That's supposed to add 360 full-time jobs down there. They're building that down there. And then there's rumors that there is a Singapore and a Mexico gigafactory on the horizon. And I believe they're looking at Canada as well, somewhere in the Ontario province, so that would you can basically import to the Northeast. So, right now the factories should be able to produce 2 million cars this year. Gigafactory Texas is expanding. There's an $800 million expansion out in Austin. There is just a ton of money being pumped into this state just with Elon alone. And I think the last time we counted, we're somewhere between 15 and 20,000 jobs created. And for those of you who have been to the 3-day, if you haven't been to the 3-day, go to mrtxrei.com and sign up for it. It's a whopping $97. I can promise you it's going to be the best real estate education class you ever took, any 3-day or 2-day you've ever attended. But we go into the correlation between jobs and houses with the fact that just Tesla alone is adding 15,000 jobs. How many houses, how many households we need to produce. And this is why we're so high on Texas. It is a juggernaut for jobs. Jobs are still being created, even in this downturn. Even with all this fear, the unemployment for this state is fantastic. More big companies are coming. When big companies come, smaller companies come around because they have to support them. And between the big and the medium and the small companies that come to our state, well, that means that more people have to work at Target and Walmart and H-E-B and the movie theaters. They all got to do more work because there's more people coming. Now, I know a lot of you don't like outsiders. I understand. I get it. A little xenophobia. Trust me, it's okay. I promise you the people that are coming from California, like myself, are about merit, are about low taxes, are about less government. The folks in Santa Monica who love the socialist state of Santa Monica, by the way, that's what we called it out there, who love the socialist state of Santa Monica are not coming here. They may come to Austin because they read some foodie thing and they're going to get some barbecue, but they're not staying. They're not staying. So relieve your fear. We're good. And I think I've talked to this before. They'll freak out with the gun stuff. Right? That was my freak out. I grew up in New Jersey. I lived for California for 10 years. And I just couldn't imagine my partner sitting down at the table next to me being, packing in the small of his back. And I'm like, oh, you have a gun. It's like, yeah, I have to take my gun everywhere. So they'll freak out a little bit about that, but trust me, they don't want the plastic. They want to use plastic bags at supermarkets. They want low taxes. They want their kids to learn the basic education and not be, indoctrinated into anything that we might be up in arms with. So trust me, we're all good here. Speaking of California, man, still more and more people moving out of that state. We are, if you're on our investor list, if you've been to one of our seminars or webinars, or you've come and had some one-on-one talks with us, and we've done that a lot in California, we are still bringing lots of money in from California. It's amazing how many people are still interested. In fact, I'm going on a cruise in February out of Long Beach, California, to talk to 150 potential investors on a cruise ship about what they should be doing in Texas, whether it's going to be passive investing or active investing. There's still lots and lots of money coming to the state, so it is a good time to get into real estate. Our peers are not interested. The interest rates are scaring them off. They don't have the good data, so they're based on some bad knowledge, which just leads to fear, uncertainty, and doubt. We have good information. We're pretty comfortable in our estimates, and we're making some moves. Like I said, Jason and I did a little challenge here. I picked up 9 doors. I'm going to get 7 more before the end of the year. Doing exactly what we teach. So if you want to learn all about this stuff, come out to our 3-day event, Complete Real Estate Investing. Go to MR as in Mr., TX as in Texas, REI as in realestateinvestor.com. That's MRTXREI.com. There are only 13 seats left. And when you're listening to this show right now, I'll be doing an apartment class on apartment investing, and there'll be 40 people there, and I will guess that 5 to 6 people will sign up for our weekend event. By Wednesday morning, we should be down to like 5 seats. So if this is the year you're going to do real estate, if this is the time you want to get into this stuff, let's go. Go to MRTXREI. We do not allow more than 30 people in the room. We will be full house this weekend. So if you can't make it this weekend, we'll get you into February. But again, this market's fantastic. This state is fantastic. And now is the right time. It's MRTXREI.com. We'll see you this weekend. Yep. Getting blown up here. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Mastermind Hour. So we don't have a lot of room left for our 3-day event. By the time you listen to this, there should be less than 5 spots available. We also don't have a lot of room in our mastermind. So we changed the limit to 100 people. We're over 80. We're in the mid-80s right now. I would suspect by May we're full. And there might be like 1 or 2 spots opened over the summer, but I would suspect by May that we're going to be full. So if you've known about our mastermind, if you thought about our mastermind, I would tell you to get moving. You go to our website, go to Call with Mr. Texas Real Estate, MRTXRE. That's Call with MRTXRE.com. Schedule an appointment if you're ready to start moving into our mastermind and get going. We help you find the deals. We help you get the rehabs done. We help you find the money. And we help you property manage as well as offering a great group of people to network and to work within a fellowship with. So go to callwithmrtxre.com. Again, I think we're about 15 people or less, and I think by February we should be down into the single digits. So we're super excited to see you guys in. All right, so just a little update from me. We are buying properties. We're back to what we teach. I think the 9 I picked up have roughly about 300,000 in equity, maybe 400, and we'll pick up 6 more. So this year I should end with this new batch having about $750,000 in equity, and then we'll just wait. And it goes up 10%. That's great. It goes up 20%. That's even better. It goes up 3%. Even better. Who cares? It's all good. It's all going the right way. So we're super happy about that. New York Giants, the playoffs is crazy against the Eagles this Saturday. Tesla, yeah. So I ordered a Model Y. I'm super excited about that. So you know what happens? Like anytime you do something new, like something new on the schedule, there's a whole bunch of other things you have to do. So I spent Saturday night picking out all the accessories I need for the Model Y, right? To have this really fine-tuned machine right from the start. I'm going to get a clear coat, and I'm going to get a protective film, and then I'm going to get a ceramic coat. So that's going to cost money. Well, it needs to charge in the garage, and someone in my house, not me, backed into the closed garage door. So now we got to get the garage door fixed. For the charger, I need 80 amps of room in my panel. I have a really big panel, so I don't think there'll be a problem with the 80 amps in there, but I got to get my electrician out there to set it all up. And then I'm like, well, now it's really time if I'm going to be charging the car and our electric bill is already $400 a month. Time for solar. And then, so all you geeks out there, follow along. The cost per therm on natural gas is 1/4 of a therm for electric. So when you try and figure out the least common denominator for energy, we use therm, right? British thermal unit, BTU. And to produce 1 therm of energy in gas, it's 1/4 the cost of producing a therm of energy from electric. So now I'm trying to have a call with the Generac guy saying, hey, I'm going to put 2 big batteries in my garage, and can I just run that generator every day to load up the batteries so that when I'm in my peak hours, I can drain down the batteries and not have to pay the peak rate for my electric, and, oh, by the way, pay 3/4 less per kilowatt because I'm generating it from a gas generator. And is it smart enough to understand the time of day and to do all those things? And while I'm at it, I might as well put, 3.5, 4.5 kilowatts on my garage roof and really start tuning in on the electric so I can get, with the new car, and I'm going to add a hot tub. So I want to get to, even with all that extra load, I want to get to about under $100 a month in electric. For those of us know that following along, we're doing Jason's personal residence, and I'm trying to get him to zero energy, essentially zero, just some gas for the chef's range that he's going to have, right? Everything else is going to be completely zeroed out from his solar and battery system. So that's a thought. So now I'm like, okay, I'm buying a Tesla and I need another $15,000. It's like, well, what happened to the savings? Just went into the solar, the battery, the generator, the garage door, the $1,000 of just little junk on Amazon. I'm like, oh, gosh, look at this. So I think it's just easier to run an extension cord out my corporate building and charge my car for free here than go through that and all that nightmare. But we'll figure it out. So we're going to do some videos on that. That should be fun. But if you haven't thought about it, it's time to take a look. A lot of just unaware comments already I've gotten. Like one of the people said, well, hey, in 3 to 5 years, you're going to have all these dead batteries lying in the landfills. And I'm like, no. In fact, one of the things they found out, it's cheaper to recycle the battery for its raw materials than it is to mine and process them. So they want batteries to be recycled because they want to pull the cobalt out, the magnesium, all those materials, because it's cheaper to pay a recycler to basically break it all down and process it back into raw materials than it is to go to Indonesia, mine it, and all kinds of bad things happen with those mines and labor problems and just condition of health, and even, and there's even slaves, right? Just indentured servitude, right? So we don't want to do all that. We'd rather recycle it. But he also doesn't understand that my battery in that Model Y will last somewhere between 7 and 10 years. That car is slated to go between 300 and 500,000 miles. And the maintenance is essentially windshield wiper fluid, rotate the tires, and every 2 to 3 years, check the brake fluids. That's it. So I'm super excited about that. Anyone else who's thinking about a Tesla, connect with me. That'd be a lot of fun to talk. And then we have the big 3-day event coming up this week, mrtxrei.com. Again, great time. A lot of the competition has simply chosen not to buy at this point. We are finding lots of deals on the MLS. Obviously, interest rates are up. We have a strategy for that. We'll talk to you about that on, I think that we do that on Saturday. But we'd love for you to come on out to our 3-day event. It's Friday night, it's Saturday, and Sunday. Go to mrtxrei.com, mrtxrei.com. Check it out. It's $97, a whopping $97, and seats are limited. We only do 30. We do not do these big 1,000-seat. We don't want to. We understand what it takes. We don't want to do that. We're too busy buying and processing real estate here. So we do 30 seats once a month, right? So there's about 12 left, and after tomorrow night, we should be down to about 5 or 6. How do I know? Because I've done this every month for the last 2 years. So make sure you get out there, sign up, mrtxrei.com, $97. It's really, really important that you go and check that out. If this is the year that you're going to start real estate investing, super, super important. We'll be back tomorrow night. You should be, me and Jason should be on the radio tomorrow night. Maybe not. I might be on the road. He might have to record it himself. But look, we will both be here this weekend. We can't wait to see you guys. Go to mrtxrei.com and let's go Giants this weekend. Thanks.